Hi, hi, hi. Happy Monday. Welcome to Mary's Monday Musings. I'm so excited about the topic tonight. Oh, I hope everyone had a good day today. It was rainy and cold here. I'm not a rainy and cold kind of person. Hey, Kim. Hi, Jill. Not a rainy and cold person like it was here, but and the crazy thing is, I got up at 4 o'clock this morning because I guess daylight savings time kind of messed me up on my sleeping. Hey, Scarlett, you found me. Good. So, anyway, I have a question for you before we get started. Are you a right after Halloween, it's time for Christmas person, or are you the day after Thanksgiving, it's time for Christmas person? Drop it in the comments. I want to know because I'm conflicted every year. When the kids were little, I started really early, not right after Halloween, but before Thanksgiving. And now, I don't know, this year we haven't really talked about it. We may not even have a tree because we're going to be in Florida with the kids. Thanksgiving. Yeah, I think I typically would use that 4-day weekend, off work to do after Turkey Day. Yeah, okay, well good. Then most of you are Thanksgiving people. I'm not being judgmental. I was just curious to find out. I should have done a poll, I guess. Oh. Oh, you're decorating this weekend. Well, you've still got littles though, so it's still fun for them, I guess. To each his own. But anyway, for those who don't know me, I'm Mary Moss. I live in Richmond, Virginia. I am an author, a poet, a speaker in my dream life. And in my day life, my actual life, I'm a project administrator for, oh, hey, Janie, project administrator for a transportation project. We're a contractor with Department of Transportation. And I really enjoy that too. So I'm lucky. I have a dream job and a regular job that I enjoy. So, rocket ship. What did I say? If you're offered a seat on a rocket ship, you don't ask what seat, you just get on. I had one of those experiences on Saturday, and I know you all probably thought I was going to talk about my dream coach experience, and that's coming. So you were right. And then at the end, I have a really great announcement to share with you, something that we've kind of some of us have been chatting back and forth about all day, and I'm just super excited. But I'm going to keep that to the end, so you're going to have to stick with me to find out if you want to find out here. Hi, Anne-Marie. So Saturday was one of those things that, you say it's serendipity, you say it was a coincidence. I don't really believe that anything's a coincidence. I think everything is happens for a reason. And most of the time happens the way it's supposed to. I the event on Saturday was originally going to be just a regular, like an author meet and greet. We would all have our little tables and sign books and, meet people and talk to people. And the organizer realized that tickets were not selling as well as she had hoped they would. So she kind of switched it up and said, why don't we, you come anyway, and everybody will have a chance to go live, and, we'll just have a nice day of it. And I was hemming and hawing, and I could have gotten my money back. It wasn't a lot of money, but, I was just I guess I was being a little grumpy, and, so I wasn't going to go. And I know John Eric's on. He's gonna hear echoes of Dream Coach. I wasn't gonna go to the retreat, so I wasn't gonna go, but I did because I knew how much work the organizer Shirley had put into it, and I didn't want to let her down. So I went and had a nice breakfast. And it turned out to be one of the most incredible experiences I've had in a long time. Um, all of us, we each had our 15 minutes of fame. We got to talk. We got to go live with Shirley, the host. And then we were to just kind of hang out in case people came by and to just kind of chat and get to know each other. And so there were, I guess, through the course of the day, about a dozen of us. And what was really cool was this was all Richmond area authors, which I'm friends with a lot of authors online. And I do know a couple, personally that are here in Richmond. But it was all Richmond based authors. And some, had just published one book, some had done multiple books. There was a couple of children's book writers, there was a woman who had compiled a cookbook. So it was the whole gamut. And we had all kind of said, I think, oh, well, we'll stay like from 10 to 12 just till everybody gets to do their live. Well, by 3:30, our families were calling us. Where are you? Are you coming home? Are you okay? Because we sat together, lunch came, and we collaborated. We shared ideas. We asked questions of each other. How did you do this? How did you publish your book? Where do you get bookmarks? Where did you get your banner? But more than that, there were marketing people there who were on the team with the host of the event, who just said, well, with your book, you need to be doing this and you need to be doing that. And you need to think outside the box and not just stick with people who write the same kind of books you do. You need to team up with, and it just went on and on. And she went on. Every time she came back in the room, she had more suggestions and just real thinking outside the box. And it really got all of our wheels turning. And we all helped each other. There was no competition like, oh, I want to be the center of attention. Janet, it really was. It was so exciting. It was very life-giving. And we're still talking today. We're still messaging each other and saying what an incredible experience it was. And we're so glad it turned out the way it was. We even, we got some free advertising that we hadn't intended. I was able to do an impromptu podcast interview with one of the authors who also has a couple of podcasts that she does locally. And just some great mentoring by a couple of very experienced, not only authors, but entrepreneurs and business people who really want to just pour back into others. And it was such a blessing, and it really was very life-giving. And Scarlett was there. She's one of my new author friends. It was just a wonderful experience. And it harkened back to the Dream Retreat weekend. And you all have heard me talk about Dream Coach. A couple dozen of us, maybe 3 dozen of us from around the world, all gathered in Orlando, Florida, a year ago, February. So it's almost 2 years now. None of us knew. We knew where we were supposed to. We knew that we were supposed to land by a certain time. We didn't know the address of where we were staying. We didn't have an itinerary. We knew nothing at all about where we were going to go. And, some of us are the type that it really drove us crazy not to know what was going on. Because I am like the spreadsheet queen when it comes to travel and organizing and keeping track of things. We had all formed a relationship over the previous year online in this social media coaching group, and had become very close. And our coach, John Eric, was ready to take things to the next level and encouraged us to meet with him. And at the time, Katie and Dan, who were the coaches with him, and have this dream retreat. And it turned out to be life-changing, not just life-giving, but it was life-changing. We ultimately found out where we were supposed to go. We stayed in a couple of houses. It was intimate and comfortable. It was intense. And we just spent the time kind of unraveling And some of us, maybe for the first time, I think John Eric saw in us dreams that we each had that some of us hadn't even given voice to, or thought about, or knew how to speak about it. And so that was a lot of the time that we spent there. Um, the most powerful part of that for me was that he prayed over our dreams, even the ones we didn't know we had yet. And he gave us permission to make them come true. And that was such a huge turning point for me. That and the fact that he said from the very beginning that I believe in your dreams so much that I will always be on the side of your dream, even when you're not. I'm going to just say that again. He said, I will always be on the side of your dream, even when you're not. All of us who ultimately finished the program, he said that the only guarantee he gave us is that we would cry at least once. And most of us cried more than once. And he was true to his word. He was never mean or hateful or condemning with us, but he always reminded us that our dream was so important that he was willing to speak truth to us. And that empowered us to claim the dream for ourselves and to move forward. I'm a different person. I'm a better version of myself because of that experience. I have more confidence in myself. I have more confidence in the story that I have to tell. My dream journey for that first dream experience was to write and publish my latest book. It was my second book. It had been about 8 years since I had written the first one. And so that journey it was wonderful. It was healing. It was powerful. It was impactful in a lot of ways. And I had so many cheerleaders cheering me along because as soon as I started writing, I would share the journey. Part of that was because I'm a writer by trade and a communicator. I'm just by nature. And so that was a natural instinct for me to communicate what was going on in my life. I also, though, wanted to invite others who were in a position I was before I went on the dream retreat. Some people who maybe were afraid or didn't value their dream, who no one had ever told them their dream was important, or maybe had even told them that it wasn't important and that it didn't matter and that they didn't matter. And so I wanted that to be very much a shared experience. And it certainly has been. I've been so blessed by the stories that people have told me, have shared with me. And not just about writing, about, Lily, it was amazing. Not just the writers, but the people who have started businesses and offered services to people that either help them with their health, with their mental health, with their well-being, just for so many reasons, so many things that make the world a better place to be in. And all of us, in the end, realized what John Eric told us all along was that we had to make our dreams happen because they were not for us. They are for the world. And if we don't share them with the world, then the world is being cheated of that dream. We are the delivery vehicle, if you will. We were given divine gifts, and our job is to deploy those gifts into God's world. It's as simple as that. And when you look at it that way, you don't get conceited, you don't get full of yourself because you realize that I'm just doing what I was made to do and what I'm supposed to do. And so now I have to do it. And John Eric and I were talking today about, I was telling him that I realized that my book was not the end of the journey. That was not my dream. My dream is to help people through written and spoken words, in however that manifests itself. But the book was the first step in that journey. The book makes a lot of other options available to me. It's sort of like an entree into what I want to do. And so it was vital for me to do that because I had to have a goal accomplished. I had to have that part of my dream done so that I could then start living into the next part of the dream. And that's such an important concept when you start living in your dream. And Barbara's on here, she does that with her jewelry. You live in your dream. It becomes like an appendage of you, a part of you, and you become the manifestation of that. And you can't imagine life without. That's right, just another beginning, Lily. That's exactly right. So, John Eric also talks a lot about being a serial dreamer. Just because I'm done with my book, that's not the end. I'm not going to just stop. I'm not going to stop writing. I'm not going to stop wanting to help the world find hope and healing. It's just the beginning. And so whatever comes next is what I want and what I'm seeking. And with the realization that when I accomplish the next goal, when I achieve the next dream, there'll be another one after that will be better. It will be more valuable. It will be better defined by the experience of accomplishing the previous dreams. Does that make sense to anybody? I get so passionate about it, I could just go on and on and on. That's right. We live the dream in order to release more dreams. That's exactly right. So Saturday was one of those rare experiences, like I said, that I haven't had probably since that dream retreat. And I'll tell you, when I went there, I was pretty broken. I'm more broken than I realized. Until I started the healing process through writing the book. So I'll always be grateful for that. But another important thing, I almost kind of kicked myself a little bit at the thought that I was not going to go Saturday, because now it wasn't going to be what I thought it needed to be. It's not what I thought it was going to be, and I didn't understand how it could possibly be beneficial or, just worth the time. And so I'm almost kicking myself because it ended up being so much more than it would have been had everything worked out as originally planned. We would never have formed the deep bonds that we did just in that one day in that room together. We never would have become friends with each other. There was just an inextricable bond, and I think part of that is because we were all writers, all authors, so we kind of were at the same starting point in the relationships. Timing is always right, and like I said, I don't think there's any such thing as a coincidence or a mistake along that lines. But what it has reminded me, and I hope I don't forget this, I hope somebody will remind me in the future to don't turn down an opportunity because for whatever silly reason you're scared, you don't know what to expect, because that could be the one opportunity that could change your life or somebody else's life. So it was a good reminder coming out of that day that, oh wow, I'm so glad I didn't miss this. Yes, divine appointments. That's exactly what Saturday was. It was like a mini retreat, Beth. It really was. So anyway, I'm already, involved in some collaborations with people. Got a couple things already in the works. Already planning some events for 2019. And it's just super exciting, super exciting. And I don't even know what's to come, but I know that there are a lot of really great things to come for that. Um, so also, I wanted to talk briefly about this abundance situation that I had. I know you all, a lot of people saw my post about being almost out of books, being completely out of bookmarks, and man, that's what better problem could a writer have, could an author have, than running out of books because you sold so many. Um, that was it. I mean, it was just unbelievable. Um, and it is the best kind of problem. It's not even just a first world problem. It's the best kind of problem that you could ever have. By the way, books did arrive today, and bookmarks are in the mail on their way here. So, yay for expedited shipping. Yes, it is a luxury problem. It definitely a luxury problem, and I'm grateful to have it. Um, so that's the other thing, it all goes with mindset. And if you have that abundance mindset and that attitude of that you're always going to be more than provided for, um, that you are grateful for the opportunity to have your dream manifested into the world. What an honor that is. What an honor that is. I think of all the people in the world who never went after their dream, who will never have their dream come true for whatever reason, for all the reasons that I didn't think I would ever write again, all the reasons that, that there are in the world, valid, invalid, whatever. So no, I'm not ever going to worry that I'm out of books. Never going to worry that I'm out of books or bookmarks or anything else. That is a blessing, and it's a gift, and I don't ever want to take that for granted at all. So, okay, enough of that. I promised you there was an exciting, exciting announcement as I'm wrapping up. And I'm just busting at the seams. I'm so excited about this, and I want to make sure I explain it the correct way. There is going to be a brand new Dream Coach program starting, and I am so excited. It's actually going to be 3 opportunities. There'll be the Discover, Launch, and Mentor. And I'm not going to go into all the details of that. In a way, it's kind of self-explanatory. Discovery is where most people will probably be, especially if you haven't been in the program before. And I'm going to tell you, John Eric will just have to hear this if he's still on. I was thinking, okay, well, I've gone through the Dream program. That's it. I'm all done. That's the last of my opportunities. And what I'm so excited about is that I'll still have the opportunity to help some dreamers, but I can also participate in a couple of ways. One is I will I will probably want to be in the launch program for the writers group that I've talked about starting in January. I really need to clarify and define what that's going to be and what purpose it's going to serve, and how I can make it the most beneficial to the most people. So that's going to be launch, and then probably also Mentor to help me round out some of these great ideas I have and help to figure out which ones are the best fit for me personally, but also, for my message. So on November 11th, there will be an informational live about the program. There'll be some explanation about what each of the 3 programs will be and how they'll work and what you need to do. It's going to be an application process. It'll be very limited. Yeah, at 11:11, it'll be very limited in terms of the number of people, because we want to keep it manageable. and we want everyone to have the opportunity for one-on-one. So if you are interested in getting information and attending that event, I will drop the link to the event in the comments as soon as the live is over, so that you can mark yourself going and turn on your notifications. Make sure you get the notification for that so you don't forget about it. Even if you don't get in the program the first time around, there'll be it will start over every quarter. So, it could be that you need to define a little bit more what your dream looks like. Who knows? I mean, there could be all kinds of things. Maybe timing isn't right or whatever, but you'll at least have the information, and so you'll know, you can, look ahead for 2019, what your year's going to look like, and if you want to apply for any or all of these in the new year. So I am super excited because, oh good, John Eric, I'm so glad you'll be there. I hope so. I sure hope so. I want as many people as possible to be able to experience even a small portion of what I've been so blessed to experience through this program. It's changed my whole life, and I want that for you too. So I will drop the link down there. I would love for you to hop over to the event and click going and then attend, and ask me questions if you have questions about it. Don't be shy. It's not going to be a high pressure, we're not going to email you 100 times and say, oh, don't forget, or you have to come, or, there's no, oh, thanks. There's no, it's not going to be like all this election stuff where tonight I've already had 4 texts asking me if I'm going to vote and who I'm going to vote for, and do I know where my precinct is. And it's not going to be like that. We're not going to chase after you, but we're going to make ourselves available. So, who wants to click on that link? I'm so excited to see how many of you click on the link. And don't forget, your phone has its stuff. Oh, I know, it's horrible. Share this with any of your friends who need to hear this, who need to learn about this dream program, who you think might be a great support for you in the program. Talking about, you need somebody in your life like my husband is in mine. I kept ordering 20 books at a time, and I kept running out. And he said, Mary, for the love of God, order 50 books. You need to order 50 books. So, isn't it great when you have people in your life who believe in you more than you believe in yourself? So I'm going to be starting to order 50 books at a time. It's a good problem to have, for sure. For sure. So listen, thank you everybody for hopping on. I really appreciate you spending a little bit of time with me tonight. A little break from the election nonsense. Right, just order the books, Mary. Exactly. Just like he told me when I kept saying, I'm not going to go to Florida. He finally said, Mary, get on the plane. Just get on the plane. So, yeah, he's a keeper. I think I'll keep him around. So, like I said, thanks so much for hopping on tonight. Y'all have a great rest of the night. Look for that link in just a couple minutes after this post. And have a great week. And I look forward to talking to you soon.